What got you involved in technology that helps salespeople win?
Well, so my background in my last company that I ran was in the performance management, the talent management space. And so we've always spent a huge amount of time thinking about how technology can help people be more productive, more independent. And as we launched Kiite, as we looked at the technologies that were available and looked at where we could have the biggest impact, sales was unequivocally the place where we had to start. And it pulled us in because there was nowhere else we could possibly be starting.
So explain what Kiite does for sales.
So Kiite is an AI assistant that helps make sales reps more productive. It does that by finding all of the knowledge that you have in your company. It could be in your CRM, your wiki, your intranet, your enablement tools, and makes that available in chatting directly with a sales rep. And so you don't need to worry about tapping your colleague on the shoulder to ask a question or hunting through different content systems. You could just ask Kiite.
Like Siri for sales.
Exactly.
Right.
The important nuance is when you ask a question and there's an answer, Kiite will give you the answer. So like, if you think about search, people would say things like, what's the biggest discount I can give an offer profit? And a search answer would be, here's a document with our pricing guide, which is kind of like saying, let me Google that for you. Kiite actually reads the documents and gives you the answer. It'll tell you it's 25% and then give you the link, but you get the answer.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you document the ROI on Kiite?
That's always a fun challenge. Now, the easy one is thinking about time saved. We can identify how much time was saved, how much we freed up for your customers. But what's really interesting is with a lot of our customers, their biggest pain point isn't just the time saving. Sometimes it's more nuanced. So a good example, one of our customers, Shopify, one of their biggest challenges wasn't around just time spent. It was also around the unit economics of their company. They've been growing so quickly that one of the bottlenecks was training up new solutions consultants. They had a great machine. They could hire sales reps, they could onboard them, they could train them, but they didn't have enough solutions consultants. So the actual key lever, the ROI for them, was how can we help them leverage their existing solutions consultants so they could say maybe double their sales force without hiring any more SCs. And so very often the ROI gets right into the details for each company.
So what are the top 3 industries that you serve where you have the most traction right now?
Yeah, so the number 1 and 2 eclipse 3 and 4 by distance. I'll focus on those. The first would be rapidly growing high tech. So software or hardware software companies, and they're typically in that 100 to a couple thousand employees. The other group would be financial services, insurance companies primarily, much larger. And again, it's about onboarding, but it's also about capturing that tribal knowledge. They have generations of employees leaving, and that knowledge is walking out the door. So how do we capture that? And that's one of the key things about Kiite. When Kiite can't find an answer in your documents, it'll actually go and chat with your subject matter experts, learn the answer, and memorize it.
So you said earlier, Vidyard is a customer. How do
Yes.
they use Kiite?
So a large part of it was ramping up their SDR teams. So if you have a solution sales development rep, and you're building out that team, the reality is you have a lot of turnover, and you're trying to get those team members as quickly and as effectively knowing your messaging, your content, your stories, your anecdotes, and you really can't afford to have all of these new reps tapping the shoulders of your sales managers and your AEs all the time. So the primary use case with Vidyard is actually getting all that knowledge into the hands of their SDRs, where their SDRs can actually access it in a self-service way.
So what is on your development map for the next 2 or 3 years that we should expect from Kiite?
Oh, 2 or 3 years, that's a long time horizon. As you can imagine, given what we do, we integrate with a lot of sources. There's a never-ending list of the sources that we integrate with. And so going deeper and broader, so as a really good example, one of our key integrations is Salesforce. And so we can highlight things like who's the BDR in this account, who's the owner, what's their revenue, are they a referenceable customer? Well, with our customers, we're going even deeper and mining additional information that's in CRM, the documents, the emails that you have in there. So you'll see us doing a lot of work there. But if I think about the longer term, the one thing that I think is really interesting is we're one of the few companies that's actually doing psychology research. When we founded the company, we built a psychology research group to examine trust in the workplace. Today, you trust your manager to treat you and interact with you in a certain way. If you're now relying on an AI, that changes. And so we're examining what it means to have trust in the workplace and what does it mean to trust in AI, so that we're building something that's representative of our workforce, that's inclusive and accessible. Because as you're building an AI technology, you need to be considerate of that. The interesting thing is that no one has any experience buying an AI and letting it loose in the workplace.
Right.
No one's done this before,
No.
which means what we're doing, where we spend a lot of our energy, and we're doing this with our customers. This isn't being done in a secret lab. It's very collaborative with our customers. Is thinking about how do you measure the productivity and performance and success of an artificial intelligence. we know how to measure the success of our employees, but what does it mean to measure the success of our AIs? So we're spending a lot of time on reporting, on analytics, and performance management for an AI system.
So where can people learn more about Kiite and download white papers and become as smart as you are?
So the best place is to start at our website. It's Kiite.ai, of course, and that's spelled with 2 I's,
right.
Kiite.ai. And the best place to actually get introduced to it is, take a look at our blog, but I'd also encourage people to take a look at our podcast.
By the way, the 2 I's in Kiite stand for innovation. And give me another I.
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
We'll go with that, yes.
All right. We just changed the company name.
There we go.
But the Japanese origin is listening.
It is, right there.
Is to pay attention and be in the present moment.
And to hear.